The project I'm doing right now is it's a cartoon called Cans Without Labels, and it stars George Licker and two of his nephews, Slab and Ernie. And this is a true story. It's based on a story of when I was a kid. So my dad was real cheap. He grew up in the Depression, and he would never buy anything for full price, for sticker price, and he wouldn't buy brand label stuff. You know, like he'd never buy Heinz ketchup. It'd always be like, you know, Vaughn's brand ketchup. The real generic, the stuff that just oozes and drips, you know, like, oh, this is terrible. We couldn't have Coca-Cola. It would have to be, you know, the supermarket brand cola and stuff like that. Although my mom wouldn't put up with it. She demanded, she had to have real Coke, real Heinz ketchup, but the kids had to suffer and eat all the cheap products, right? So my dad found something that was even cheaper than generic label brands. At this one supermarket near our house called Loblaws, which is Canada. Canada's weird names for things. Loblaws. William Shatner used to do commercials for Loblaws. Yeah, those were great. Anyways, at Loblaws, they had the damaged goods section at the back of the store, and there was this one shelf where they put all these cans that had the labels damaged, so they would just tear the label off, and then they would mark down the price real cheap, you know, like 5 cents, 2 cents, 10 cents at the most, so you didn't know what was in the cans. My dad figured, 2 cents, you know, it's this big, it's got to be worth, there's got to be some nutrition in there. So he collected these things. He would race down the supermarkets, run over the old ladies who were trying to get to the shelf and stuff, and he would buy up all the cans, and he went to the basement and he tore out one whole section of the basement, and then built this set of shelves against the concrete wall, just like hammering nails with his fist straight into the concrete. And he had all these cans with all labels in them. And we dreaded. We could always hear him down there. We knew it at lunchtime. If we didn't see Dad, we heard some scraping around downstairs. Oh no, he's going to get one of the cans. He's getting one of the cans. And we tried to escape. He'd already locked all the doors and windows. Oh God. So he'd come up with these cans. He'd bring like 4 or 5 of them. And he'd say, all right kids, we're in for a real treat today. We're going to have something beautiful in these cans. And everyone said, Dad, you know there's never anything good in these cans. What are you talking about? And I said, how do you even know what's in the can? He goes, I got a system. And he'd pick up a can, and he'd count the rings around the side. Let's see, 3 rings around the side. He'd look at the labels. Some of the labels were like silver, some of them were gold. Got a gold label, that means it's something good. And he'd shake it, he'd do the slosh test. And he'd listen to it, and he'd say, it's peaches. You kids like peaches, don't you? Yeah, all right. But then before he put the can down, he'd say, now listen kids, remember, once I open this can, we have to eat whatever's in it, peaches or not. Nobody wastes any food in the Cristolucci household. And then he would tell us, like, you know, imagine that, well, I'll get to that once in a minute. But anyways, he'd open the can, and we'd all be sweating, like, oh no. And he's like, oh yeah, you guys are looking forward to some peaches, right? Open up the peaches. Open up the can, tears the lid off, we'd shove it towards us, we'd look at it and go, ah! There's something horrible in it. There's a face in the can. It's like, what are you talking about? There's a face in the can. You see that? He'd look inside and go, well, what do you know? That's a face, all right. Well, I guess we're having a face for lunch. No. We'd be trying to get out the cat door and stuff like that. He'd grab us and shove us back in the chair. Eat your goddamn face. I mean, starving kids in Africa would love to have a goddamn face like this. I'd say, like, why don't you sing them to the kids in Africa? Whack! A smart mouth, huh? See, like, he grew up in the Depression where they had, you know, on a poor farm, hardly had any food, so the idea of wasting food was, you know, to that generation, forget it. And that's George Licker. So I made a cartoon about it. It's called Cans Without Labels. And